One of the last things that I got to do to finish the radiator install is to wire it up. If you didn't see my last video, make sure you check that out. I made some custom radiator brackets with just some basic hand tools that you might have in your garage. All right, so when you purchase the radiator, there's a few options of extra things you can buy. One of them being a harness for the radiator electric fan. So when you buy this, it looks like it comes with a harness, a relay, looks like there's a Fusible Link in there, and then it comes with a thermostat switch, some connectors, and a fuse. Now on this thermostat switch, there are a couple different ways you can go about this. You can get the one that goes into the block, or you can go with this route, which I did, and this will actually screw into the radiator port itself at the bottom and read the temperature from there. Now you need to make sure you get the right one because they kick on at different temperatures. I think this one kicks on at 185 and kicks off at 165, and I think the one that goes in the block is a little bit higher. I think it's like 195 and 175. So make sure you get the right one. And it also comes with some instructions, which we probably won't really read because that's what guys do. But other than that, it looks pretty simple. Gonna connect it to the battery, connect to the radiator, and then obviously connect it to the thermostat switch. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is hook up the relay. Now this is pretty important to hook it up in the right spot. My opinion is you want to hook it somewhere close to the battery where most of your fuses are, which makes it kind of easy. You don't want to put this in a spot where it's hard to get to, or it's close to the engine where it's going to get a lot of heat. You also don't want to put it on the opposite side of the engine because you're not going to have enough wire to get over to the battery and then also to the thermostat. So right here looks like a good spot. Remember, before drilling, make sure you know what's underneath there, because if you drill through something like this, that would be bad. Like, really bad. All right, so now we have this done. First thing we're gonna do is hook up the red wire. Now I'm gonna go and cut this a little shorter because I don't need all that extra wire. You just wanna make sure that you route this, or kind of semi-route it to the area you're gonna want it before you cut the wire. Otherwise, you're gonna have to splice another splice in there, and that won't be good. They make this pretty simple. They have most of the work done for you already as far as connectors and stuff like that. So the red wire is going to go to the red wire, and this is going to go to the fan power. So you got a positive and a ground. The ground, I'm just going to ground it right to the frame. All right, so next to this gray wire, and this is actually going to go to this connector, and then this is going to connect to the thermo sensor. Now when installing this, don't put any Teflon tape on there, because they say that can actually mess up the sensor to where it doesn't read correctly. And obviously don't over tighten this. So I'm going to go install this, and then I'm going to attach the wire. You don't want to put the wire on first, because then you're going to be twisting this and the wire's going to get all twisted up. All right, so next we're going to hook up this yellow wire. Now this is just going to go straight to the positive terminal on the battery, and we're just going to put like a fusible link in between this and the battery terminal itself. So since I'm right here by the battery, I don't really need that much wire. So here's your fusible link. Like I said, this will connect to the yellow wire. It comes with no fuse in it, but they do send you the fuse to put in it. The opposite side of the fusible link comes with a connector, and this will go straight to the battery terminal. All right, so we are down to the last wire, and this is probably the hardest part of this whole entire thing. And actually it's not even that hard. But if I had to choose out of every wire we've hooked up, this will be the most difficult. So this needs to go to an accessory fuse. And what I mean by that is when you turn the key on to accessories, your radio, stuff like that turns on, you need to hook this into one of those fuse ports. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second. The first thing we want to do is somehow get this into the cab. So when you're routing your wires through any hole in the firewall, you want to make sure that you're putting it through a grommet. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure it's not going through just straight metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route this wire along the firewall, and I'm going to follow this main wire going around the back. So you can see there's actually quite a few wires in there. It's got the plastic cover on it. So what I'm going to do is just follow that along, and I'll just zip tie it or electrical tape it to that. That way it's up and out of the way, and it also looks a little bit better. All right, so we got our wire ran in, and the next thing I did is I attached one of these. So this is an accessory fuse block. And what this does is it allows you to bring the wire from wherever for lights or whatever. In this case, it's gonna be for the electric fan. And you're gonna go to your fuse block, and you're gonna find one that's accessories. Easiest way to find something that's accessories is turn your key on, and the fuse should light up. Once you find that, you pull that out, you put this in place of it, and then you'll put your fuses in here. So the bottom one closest to the prongs will be for the fuse that you're pulling out, so for radio, lights, and so on. And the second one on top will be for the electric fan. One thing to keep in mind is when you do this, you cannot put a fuse that's higher than the fuse you're pulling out for the load or for the draw. So what I mean by that is you have a load side of this prong, and then you'll have a draw side. And you also need to make sure that gets put in correctly. So the load side needs to be on the load side of the fuse block, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute. But it's very important when you put these fuses in, make sure that you're not putting like a 10 down here at the bottom for what was in there for the radio, and then putting like a 20 at top. It won't do any good. And if you don't put this in the right spot or in the right way, obviously you can flip this upside down If you do it the wrong way, what will happen is it's going to kind of zigzag through here and blow both fuses at the same time. All right, so I want to show you here is, so you got your fuse that you pull out right here. Only one side, when you turn the accessories on, is going to light up. So if I put this in here, right there it's lighting up. If I put it on this side, nothing. So this here is your load side. And that's what I mean when you hook these things up, you need to make sure you hook it the right way. Because obviously you can put that fuse block in either way, but there's one correct way and there's one obviously incorrect way. All right, so we're all done. The first thing you want to do, obviously, when you're done, is test it. And as you can see, it's working great. When you test it, just because the fan's running, you also want to make sure that you check the inside temperature. Now keep in mind that the temperature gauge on the radiator, the port, might not read exactly what you have in the cab. So that's supposed to kick on, I think, around 185. It's a little bit higher in the cab, but it's still where it was with the factory radiator. It's not any higher than that. So that's one thing you want to double check. You want to know what your temperature was prior to putting this fan in, because the last thing you want is for your engine to overheat. If you guys got any questions or comments, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe.